I can ask 1,000 different people, do you want to be more focused on a
Yes.
daily basis? And 1,000 hands will go up. But focus is nothing more than making decisions and having the discipline to see them through. And you tend to get what you focus on. Unfortunately, there are people who get distracted, or sometimes they chase a shiny object, or, oh, look, there's a baby wolf. Uh, and and sometimes they just wear it like a banner, that they're proud of that. But it will always get in the way of what you want to accomplish.
So what is the thing that hinders discipline? Like if it is just discipline, is that a muscle? Is that I prioritize it? Is it a value? Like how does, if that discipline is so central to us being focused, so you're saying people who are unfocused are undisciplined?
I'm not sure they're undisciplined. I think they have a lack of clarity around what they really want and what really matters most. I think people give lip service to what they want, and they really haven't discovered the why, maybe, behind accomplishing a task, or losing weight, or saving money, or writing a book, or but once they really get under the surface and find out why this is important, there's a greater likelihood that they will be more focused on a daily basis. The other thing, Greg, is that everybody wants it faster.
Yeah.
And nobody who has ever become successful has come back to me and said, Mark, that success thing, it just happened so much faster than I thought it was going to happen. And another thing, it was easier than I thought it was going to be. Most people reach a level in their success or their life or their meaning, and they look back and they think, boy, if I knew now that it was going to take this, I might not have even started that journey.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But here's what I believe. People can do hard things.
Yes, I believe that too. It's kind of critical. So when you're working with individuals and organizations and teams and leaders, if there is this lack of focus or there's this inability to stay focused, I would say that people probably articulate it that way. I have a hard time staying focused. And so you're saying the discipline, then the deeper than that is the why. So this why, if I really have a sense of why this is important, it drives my discipline to stay focused. So is some of the work that helps people stay focused is like finding the why, or saying, hey, this thing isn't something that's a priority to you, so you're never going to have focus there.
Well, it's complicated, but never underestimate the power of focusing on one thing to completion. And I think what's challenging for leaders today in the marketplace, or business owners or entrepreneurs, is every day we treat the day like it's a Thanksgiving meal, and we put too much on our plate. And instead of putting the items on our plate that we want, we always tend to throw things on that dinner plate not to hurt somebody's feelings, or we don't, we want to double up on this and this and this and this, and boy, wouldn't that be great? But it's like, well, my mother made this, my grandmother made this. I better have a little bit of everything. I don't hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
And then we fill up on the things that we never really wanted to fill up on, and we treat that every day. We go into the day with good intentions, but we blink, and all of a sudden we're putting our head on our pillow at night. And
the next week.
Yes. And we think, where did the day go?
Yeah.
And when you look back, you realize you let anything and anyone and everything and everyone get in the way of what matters most to you on that day. And I don't think it's a question of being focused 8 hours a day. But I think if we can ground our day in a sliver of focus and really identify what matters most, and then take those steps, and then get on to the myriad of problems and tasks and commitments, I think we have a greater likelihood of setting ourselves up to succeed.
Okay. What is your advice, or how do you work with people that the things that they're doing, they don't have a lot of say in? These are all the things I need accomplished today.
Well, historically, over time, people are more successful when they accomplish things, not when they're complaining or making excuses or not taking responsibility for getting something done, anything done. And so I encourage people to turn their to-do list into a will-do list. And one way to do that is to really step back, and we all have a lot on our plate. I mean,
Right.
I do too.
Yeah.
And what I found helpful was, what is the one thing you will do and get done today?
That's good.
Is most likely to move the needle. What is the one thing you will do and get done in the next week? What is the one thing you will do and get done in the next 30 days, in the next 90 days, in the next year? Start with that frame, and then begin to back up. And every day, you're finding a new one thing. And it doesn't mean that it takes 30 days to get the 30-day
Right.
thing accomplished. You most likely will get it done earlier if you're more focused.
Because you saying, if I do this one, if the thing I will do today, it gives me a sense of momentum and accomplishment. It's like, okay, I got that done. All these others, I can at least move to something else and feel like I've secured the one thing. Are you a eat the frog guy that first thing, do the thing you want to do least in the morning, or get it out of the way the fastest, or how does that fit in that philosophy?
There's a saying we're all familiar with: no pain, no gain. And there certainly is, for some people, get the worst thing out of the way first. But I like no pain, a lot of gain. I want to start with some smaller steps or some smaller bite-sized micro high-value activities and get 2, 3, 4 of those done as a morning momentum builder. And I find I'm more productive throughout the day. But if I choose to start with the frog?
Yeah, eat the frog. That's the early on. That's the hard thing. Yeah, get the hard thing out of the way.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that would work for me. However, the good news is I live in a world of 2 or more right answers.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
I think it's cracking the code for you that matters the most. But I'm a momentum builder. For me personally, historically, over time, I've discovered that success is determined by your momentum. It's not determined by your results. And if you stay engaged, if you stay in gear, you're much more likely to be consistent, disciplined over time.
So good, so good. Listen, we would love to hear from you, how you stay focused, what your approach to getting things on your plate accomplished, how you approach the day and your priorities. This was so fantastic. Thank you so much, Mark. I sure appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you again in the near future.